that from childhood they raise us with cartoons, and these cartoons say that, look into the mirror and you are the most beautiful one of them all. That mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful of them all? And the mirror replies back, you are the best one, you are the best one. We said that in history there were many people in history that left to themselves, they didn't see their reality. And we don't see our reality, we see what our ego portrays for us. We see our desires and our ego makes everything to seem fair and good for us. And then one extreme of that was a very horrible queen that was killing people and taking the blood and putting it all over herself and saying that when she looked into the mirror she looked beautiful, but she was getting younger by what she was doing, and everyone in the palace could see the reality that she was a horrible looking monster with blood all over her, and her skin started to get infected from the blood that she was putting all over her body. But the mirror was showing her, you are the most beautiful of them all, because the mirror is going to reflect the bad ego, and shaitan can move into that mirror and make an image to seem fair. And anyone who wants to try that, go to the bathroom at night in the dark and stare at the mirror. Maybe they open for you a glimpse of the horror of the ego, like a very big demon looking back, you'll be scared to death and you run out. Most people don't like looking at the mirror in the dark. It will reflect something back, or something that's in there will step in and show its image. But for us it's very deep, because Prophet was teaching that the believer is a mirror to his brother and sister, to the believer. And there are two levels. One is the level of physicality, so that the believer, mu'mineen wal muhsin wal mu'min, means these are now darajats of very polished mirrors. If all their life they spent in zikrullah and polishing, means then they are a very shiny mirror from Nurul Haq. And this Nurul Haq begins to shine out, and we choose in life the false mirror, the mirror of illusion, where Allah says, this life is but an illusion. And what they call the world of illusions, that has to be destroyed. That mirror has to be destroyed in the way of marifah. Means that if we keep looking into that mirror and pleased with what we see from our own desire, we will begin to open the imaginary world where we imagine things. And this you speak to many people in New Age community, they imagine all sorts of crazy things. I'm doing like this, I'm flying like this, and this coming from here, this coming from there. And many awliyaullah, they confronted their students that were having crazy imaginations. And one was telling his shaykh, oh, when I'm doing my practices, I'm imagining I'm at a table and big pious people are sitting at the table, we're eating. And that awliya said, okay, I give you permission, next time you think you're in that type of hal, take a knife and go to the one at the front table that you think is so holy and cut his ear. So next time he's in his imaginary hall, he takes his knife out and cuts, and he hears the screaming of a pig. He wakes up, he realized he was sleepwalking into a barn, and amongst the barn were all the farm animals, and he was having a majlis with the animals, and his imagination of the head one was a pig, and he had the ear of the pig in his hand. And the shaykh was then teaching, and for us it's very deep understanding that the pious people come into our lives to destroy that mirror. So by keeping their company and by keeping the way of وَكُنْ مَا صَادِقِينَ, keeping the path of the truthful servants of Allah, and their truthfulness is based in their love of Sayyidina Muhammad, that their hero, their image, their way, their perfection is through the love of Prophet ﷺ. If they deny the love of Prophet ﷺ, then they are not from the haqq that we are understanding. And the haqq of Prophet ﷺ means they do exactly as Prophet ﷺ did. They follow the way of Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, they have the love of Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and then Allah from oceans of tawheed and oneness begin to open. From Allah Izzatullahi wa Rasuli wal Mu'mineen, means these lights begin to flow and reflect out. Their mirror is from the light of haqq, and when that light of haqq is showing and shining, as soon as we come into their presence, we see from our characteristics. We don't see them, we see our faults. And that for us has to be very deep, because many times people think they're coming in and seeing the faults. They don't like this shaykh, he's like this, he's like that, he's like this. But according to Prophet he's a mirror, you haven't seen him. All you are seeing is there's a reflection of a very polished people of zikrullah, and these people of zikrullah, they reflect out your identity, and what you don't like is what you're seeing of yourself. And then we take ourselves away and go back to the mirror on the wall. So who's the fairest one of them all? You are. Why did you go to them? Sit here, I tell you all these wonderful things about yourself. You're the best one, you're the greatest one. Why you need to go sit with them? They talk and you feel insulted. Because the mirror of haqq, it doesn't care if you are rich or if you are poor, if you are strong or if you are weak. They don't change their teaching based on, oh, is somebody rich here, we're going to change we're going to be fearful of them. The mirror of haqq, it says what it needs to say, what it's been directed to say by what is being reflected into the mirror. Means the energies that are reflected into the mirror, then that collective energy shoots back out and begins to teach. And many times we don't like what that mirror has to tell us. So then they teach us that that is the way to shatter the illusion. Because when we come into the mirror of haqq, we realize, I'm coming short. I should be praying, I should be fasting, I should be giving, I should be building my faith. But every time I go with them, I'm realizing that I better off go by myself, do what I think I was doing right, and be happy in my illusion. So then the breaking of the illusion is keeping the company. That's why Allah atiya Allah, atiya Rasul wa ulul amri minkum. Means obey and follow the ulul amr, they are a mirror. And this is why Prophet teaching that the believer is a mirror. Then ya ayyuhalladhina amanu means they are then more powerful mirrors. If the believer is a mirror and Allah is just saying, oh you who believe, means then there are darajats of belief, that as their belief becomes more powerful, more stronger, then their mirror is reflecting more. And that's why many people can sit in their association and many people heard different things. And they come up and they say, I heard something uniquely from myself, because the energy that they're going to be teaching from is coming into the heart and into the soul and getting the information that it needs to grow. Then this is just on the level of purification, and why it's so difficult to accompany. The process of accompanying pious people means then we have to be willing to work on our faults. But most people love to live a life in ignorance, and they run away from the mirror and they choose to live within their own ignorance and deny everything. They tell you in the mirror and in the company of the mirror, watch the news and see how destruction is everywhere. So, no Shaykh, I don't like to watch the news, I don't own a TV. If you don't even own a TV, it's like you're living in a closet. You don't know what's happening all around you. Everything is in destruction, everything is falling, and you're not panicking and rushing to build your faith. Everything about them, then there must be a hikmah and a wisdom that they begin to build our faith and teach our understandings. This is the mirror between physicality. Then to understand them, they begin to teach, these are the schools of tarbiyah. And in the ocean and in the understanding of tarbiyah, then is a big reality. The reality of their mirror is that they reflect to your physicality from physicality. But Ahl Basira, the people of insight, when their heart is open, what mirror are they looking at? Because they're not looking at you to get a reflection from you. The reason why they are teachers and guides is because they've been trained to move from dunya. And when they concentrate, they go into their heart and then they see who's reflecting to them. Means they see their shaykhs, they see the light of Prophet and they're constantly looking at that mirror. And the mirror of that light, the mirror of that reality is beginning to dress them. So then this is now teaching a big understanding in science. All of the satellites work from mirroring. They send a signal, it hits a mirror, this mirror hits a signal, and a series of mirrors is reflecting this light back to us. This is the reality and the understandings of who wa who. In the reality from the highest level of understanding, La ilaha illallah can only be seen by Muhammadun Rasulullah. No way to get in between these two mirrors. This is Qawba Qawsayni aw Adna. Means the light of Allah, the essence of Allah that is reflecting out to creation like a mirror for our understanding, because we don't have anything tangible to understand, we're not tasting and witnessing that reality. For us to understand, that light comes like a mirror and hits the soul of Sayyidina Muhammad, and nothing can come between that. There is no way to reach Qawba Qawsayni aw Adna for creation. Only one who can reach that was Sayyidina Muhammad. From the light of Sayyidina Muhammad like a mirror, it shines out. So then these are now all the purified souls. They purify themselves and they look into that mirror, and that's what purity means. Means that in the schools of tarbiyah they teach us tarbiyah, they teach us good manners, they teach us all of this for what? Because you are in the presence of the light and the reflection of Sayyidina Muhammad. Whatever you're doing, he is witnessing. Whose light? They're holy from where? From a light they pulled out on the sidewalk? It's the light of tawheed, everything at the level of one, where the shaykh would teach you everything from the ocean of tawheed is always moving in that reality. Everything comes from La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah and then out towards creation. So when anyone is holy or anyone you feel there's a light and holiness from them, where that light is coming from? This is why these are the schools of tarbiyah and training. The training that through the inner eye when they're connecting, they're witnessing their master, they're witnessing awliyaullah. Just like grandmothers who said, I had a dream and I saw this, I saw that, but they're higher level than grandmother. They've trained their bad character to be down, and when they look into their heart they see awliyaullah. As-salamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa ibadullahi salihin. Allah makes you say that in every salah. As-salamu alayka ayyuhan nabi. In present tense. That every salah you should be seeing Sayyidina Muhammad in front of you, present tense. And Allah making you in your salah say, Salaamu alayka, not Salaamu alaykum. Salaamu alayka means that he must even be facing you, because you can't be saying Salaamu alayka to Prophet's head. Why in your salah Allah making you say that? Wa ibadullahi salihin. So it means when you're praying, then ibadullahi salihin are there too. How come you don't see them? So then the people of inner reality and who open their heart, they see them. And when they see them, they're reflecting that light. And the light that reflects back is from that mirror, not from ourselves. From their company. Min tariqatuna suhba khairu fi jami'an, the jama'ah and the association that Mawlana Shah Naqshband was teaching was not the holiness of the 30 people gathered here, but for the awliyaullah who are coming to be present and lend their madad and their support. And these souls that sit in authority, they are polished mirrors. Whoever they talk about, when they close their eyes they go into that presence, and that one in that reality just merely stands in front of them and begins to reflect out that light. So then the teaching of tarbiyah and adab is that that light is witnessing everything we do. Prophet witnesses, the association is witnessed by Prophet's light. Shaitan is witnessing who has more power. Everyone believes shaitan is everywhere. Shaitan was in paradise and brought down Adam in paradise. In paradise made him to waswas and eat from something. So it means Sayyidina Muhammad's light is everywhere. And if the mirror is polished and they're taking energy, where they're taking that energy from? It means from their inner eye, the inner heart, with their soul they're looking and they're seeing, As-salamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa ibadallahi salihin, and that makes the association to be very holy. And the lights that are reflecting out from their soul is from those lights. And that's one holy hadith that if you approach Allah with voluntary worship, He becomes the hearing in which you hear, the seeing, not the ears in which you hear, the hearing in which you hear. Means He takes over the attributes of that servant. Means Allah will dress you from Divinely attributes, that your hearing will be from there, your seeing will be from there, your breathing will be from there, your hands and feet will be from that reality. And then teaching us, then they are like a mobile phone for that heavenly association. Whatever you do in their presence, they are witnessing. Whatever character you have, they are witnessing. Whatever belief you have, they are witnessing. And that's what makes the majlis and the associations holy, and that's what makes the associations to lift believers so quickly in their darajat. It's like you pray at home or you pray at Mecca. Why Allah said that if you pray at Mecca it's 100,000 times your salah at home? Well, Allah is not in Mecca, but saying that that place is holy. The Haramain is holy, and Allah's tajalli is dressing there, that if you pray there it's 100,000 times more. You pray in Madinah Munawwara from the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad maybe 10 million times more blessings at home. You pray in Damascus Sharif, again 10,000 times more holy than sitting at home. Means then these are the realities of light, that these lights are there and these lights can quickly lift us towards that reality, and they begin to teach us from the inner mirror and the outer mirror. The outer mirror, it perfects each other. We feel our faults, we feel our shortcomings, we feel inspired to either go and fix them or run away from the mirror. But the inner adab of how to treat the association and how to understand the shaykhs, that they are working from their inner mirror and reflecting the reality of the one whom you love. If you are lovers of Sayyidina Muhammad then how you treat them it's witnessed by Prophet that he's hearing through their ears, he sees through their eyes, he speaks through their tongues. Immediately like a mobile phone. Why your mobile phone has more power than Sayyidina Muhammad? You give your phone to your relatives and they can talk to you from here to India, and Prophet can't talk to us, can't talk through this, can't hear through this. Means the servant who submits themselves, and Allah says, I become your hearing. Why Allah wants to hear through your ears? Means He's giving this power to Prophet that you will hear through their ears, you will see through their eyes, you will speak through their tongues. And this is the reality of awliyaullah, that they are dressed from the light of Prophet Prophet witnessing what they hear, witnessing what they see, inspiring what they speak. Lisan al-haq is then on lisan al-siddiq, is on the truthful tongue, inspiring within that heart what to say and what to speak. and they are living and breathing Islam. And the reality of Prophet is ever living, Hayyu al-Qayyum. And that is the real garden of paradise. Why Prophet described this Ahl Zikr as paradise? He didn't describe the masjid or anywhere else like that. He says, go to the circle of zikrs, they are the circles of paradise. Means there's a secret in that circle. Malaika are circumambulating the circle all the way to Arsh ar-Rahman, and they don't leave. Means all these realities of lights and all these realities of the soul, they begin to teach us that these souls are very pious, very powerful, and they're witnessing every character and every action that we're doing. And on the physical, they're reflecting out all our imperfection. We have to be strong enough to lock our feet with them and say, I'm not going until I'm dead. I'm going to clean myself until I'm dead. And they keep reflecting, and the more power that keeps hitting the mirror, more it's going in and burning. It's like a magnifying glass when you were a kid. You have a magnifying glass with the sun, and you start to see that you can pull that sunlight and make it like a beam. And for a few seconds it's okay, but when that beam starts to burn, it begins to burn. The burn, most people run. Because the light in which is emanating from their heart and from their soul, it begins to burn away all the filth and all the imperfection. And then they go deep where we didn't know there's something wrong, and they're going to bring out all of the sicknesses. It's like when you cook the brain, they have these Middle Eastern dishes where they have the animal parts. As soon as you put it in boiling water, all the junk comes bubbling out. InshaAllah we have, pray for more and more openings in this holy months and this year, inshaAllah very important year, very heavy year. We pray that Mawlana Shaykh's light dress us, bless us and keep us all towards that reality, and that our hearts open more and more inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.